Have you ever met a man who was like 45 or older? It seemed like he was stuck in perpetual adolescence. Well, it does happen. Some people call this the Peter Pan syndrome. But I'm here to tell you three clear signs that you're actually dealing with an immature man, even if he's over 45. Number one, he has inconsistent behavior and he's incongruent. So he can fluctuate between chasing you in the dating process and ghosting you in the dating process. So he's kind of all over the place, very disorganized. And incongruent is when someone kind of says one thing and does another. So this kind of man is very chaotic. He's actually not just immature, but it's a bit effeminate to be in that kind of chaotic emotional state. And it's probably indicative of insecure attachment, anxious and avoidant, and he fluctuates between both of them. There's definitely some deeper root causes here that need fleshing out. Maybe he needs to have some support before he actually throws himself into dating so that he can get stable. Number two is that he lacks self-control. He lacks emotional regulation. So even under calm circumstances, if he's confronted, he may get really defensive or agitated. And so he's not able to stay composed. He's easily triggered. Again, this is not just immaturity, but it's also creating an effeminate energy in this man. Number three is that he lacks discipline and is quite impulsive because he's seeking short-term pleasure over long-term growth. And this often coincides with addictive behaviors like chasing the highs of adrenaline and dopamine hits, and can often be seen through a lot of casual sex or even video games. Basically anything that is an undesirable behavior. Now it gets tricky because his behavior may actually attract a lot of women, but these women are going to be equally wounded, unstable, and immature. But it's going to repel healthy, grounded, happy women who are looking for a masculine, mature man who they can respect and admire. They can be very charming. They may seem really romantic, but this is not the good kind of romantic. This is the kind of romantic who is caught up in fantasy, someone who actually ends up trauma bonding with these other wounded women. And they ride the highs, but then they hit the crashes of the lows. And they may really want to seek love. They're looking for that kind of validation and unconditional love and positive regard from someone in the wrong ways and in the wrong places, which usually comes from poor attachment in childhood or some kind of emotional trauma, neglect, or poor parenting by their parents. So they're seeking that love and validation in all the wrong ways. It can also be caused from low self-esteem and seeking that approval from women. You can see how this is a hard problem to fix because of the reward that they get. They get that immediate pleasure from casual sex, and choosing to sacrifice that immediate short-term pleasure for long-term growth and fulfillment can seem excruciatingly painful. So what were the three signs of immaturity? Number one, they're inconsistent, incongruent. Number two, they lack self-control, emotional regulation. They may lash out emotionally, defensively, agitatedly when they are confronted, even calmly. They just don't have that composure that a grounded, mature, masculine man should have. And number three, he lacks discipline. He's impulsive and he's kind of addicted to drama. So he doesn't actually have a good pair bonding capacity, and he's going to repel healthy, happy women. And if you recognize these behaviors in someone you care about or even yourself, just remember it's never too late to actually change and grow up and become a mature, healthy, grounded, stable, secure, masculine man. One thing that men often lack is a healthy role model, whether that's a father figure, or someone in their community, someone they can look up to provide that solid example of someone to emulate, to respect and admire, to create that sense of honor and integrity in their lives. And so they come to it later in life. Even if they get to 40 and above, they can still exhibit a lot of these signs of immaturity, and it doesn't mean that they're not a good person, but they are not stable and they are not healthy, and they don't make a good prospect for a life partnership. Thanks for watching. If this resonated with you, drop a comment and share your thoughts. I'm Dr. Taylor Burrowes, the vetting specialist.